To me, the most challenging issue will be what we do with respect to the tax credit given for horizontal drilling. If we can't change that, then we're going to have a very, very difficult year with respect to having the revenues we need.
Well, come February, usually for whatever reason, there's a handful of people that determine what legislation is going to get heard. First of all, the chairperson determines if it's even going to make it to the committee. Then once it gets to the committee and gets out of committee, then the floor leader and the speaker are going to determine what gets heard on the floor. A lot of times some of the bigger issues are held back, and probably the reason as much as anything is the Senate and the House probably make some agreements, and I'm referring to leadership, and so therefore they determine what bills, how they want them to run, and when they run. And I'm really not in charge of that. I'm kind of in charge of making sure my bills get heard. Yeah. So, I probably as much as anything, I'm hoping that some of the tax credit comes at the front. Realistically, I think it'll come at the very end.
Oh, I think we'll probably see more tax reform. Since the last year's tax cut was invalidated by the Supreme Court, you'll probably see something like that come back. There's going to be a lot of education bills come forward addressing third grade reading sufficiency, addressing end of instruction exams, how we spend money in the classrooms, etc. I hope that we see some corrections in criminal justice reform go through. Other than that, all of the bills were filed today, so we'll have the opportunity to see the 3,000 or so bills that were filed in the House as the week progresses.
The principal bill that I have authored has to do with the ranch, and that is a local retirement community that we're trying to initiate here in Stillwater. They need a change in the legislation with respect to the certificate of need, and I worked with both the people from the industry and from the people from the ranch today to try to see if we can arrive at mutual language that we can both agree to. Okay. So what we're trying to do is to arrange a compromise whereby the ranch can be economically viable, it can recruit the type of clientele they need, and the industry that's already in existence can still be economically viable.
I've got 8 on the books. I've got 10, and out of there, one of them deals with volunteer fire departments, one deals with DHS, and real estate, and then the rest of them are educational types of bills. Basically, more tinkering and adjusting some of the things that we've done, and with reforms that I see as being ineffective and costly.
My big one is redoing some crimes and punishments, removing some felonies out of some different criminal classifications for nonviolent felonies, adjusting how marijuana is punished in the state, raising the speed limit on the interstate, requiring nursing homes to have financial audits of client trust accounts, and a renewable energy portfolio standard for the state.
There's a tremendous number of problems that need to be addressed. We need to have additional funding for public schools. We need to do something about our prisons. We need to give the troopers a raise. We need to do something with respect to the Department of Human Services. So we have lots of problems in Oklahoma, but there are always lots of problems, so we'll just do our best to address them.
The one thing that I like to see is as much as probably anything is I have zero problem with tax credits as long as they can go under the microscope and see that they are beneficial to our state and to the citizens. And I just wish there was more focus on the tax credits to be sure that we're not actually doing a corporate welfare, because of realistically, when we're in these funding crises and we've got some things that we need to do within our corrections and our safety areas and within the education, there's a lot of money that could go back into the till that doesn't need to be going for those. I just wish those would be flushed out more.
I think there's a lot. I think we need a total rewrite of our tax code so that we get rid of the 500 and some odd credits and exemptions, and we can increase our revenue without actually increasing the tax burden on the citizens. We give away about $5.6 billion a year through those credits and exemptions. North Dakota has 14% oil and gas tax. We have 1. We have credits and exemptions existing to drive technology that is now considered antiquated technology. So we need a total rewrite of the tax code. I don't think we'll get there this year. I can say the same thing for the criminal justice code as well.